Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back to our live talks. We just launched our new platform last week and it was like a great success. We are really satisfied from the feedbacks from the visitors, and we want to thank all our partners, all our team, all our designers already in our community, and that is already growing even more because in these days we got many applications. So thank you very much. It was like a challenge to organize an online event, and it was the first time for us. So we wanted to make this live talk today with Martijn Paulen, that is the CEO of Dutch Design Foundation, the director of Dutch Design Week, because we wanted to talk with him like how they are facing the same problem we had, even if maybe in the Netherlands the situation is better than the one we had here with the cancellation of Milan Design Week and Salone del Mobile. So I want to welcome Martijn online live with us. Hi, Martijn.
Hi, Gabriel.
It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you for being available to do this live talk.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I wanted to talk with you about what's the situation in the Netherlands. What's the situation about the next Dutch Design Week, because we experienced this amazing event in last year, but also before as visitors. So I wanted to just have a conversation with you about what's going to happen. And so let's start talking about the general situation. Like, so how COVID affected the Eindhoven, the Netherlands, and what do you think is going to be the future of events that can be design events, but also other kind of events? And how are you getting ready for experience yours?
Oh, that's a lot of topics in one question, Gabriel. But
we have 20 minutes. No worries.
I can go on for it. Well, you've been in a terrible situation in Italy, of course, and with the cancellation of Salone, which I really felt the pain as well, because it's always such a great place to go to meet everyone around the world. It's also a good platform for Dutch designers to mingle and meet and do a lot of business as well. So we felt the pain with you, apart even from the health issues you've had. We've seen a lot of it, so we really felt what was going on. And we did have a lot of troubles here as well, of course, but it's all in comparison. So with all respect for the situations you've been in, it's been a roller coaster. Dutch Design Week is always in the third week of October. So at a certain point when it all started, that seemed like a long way away, a long time ahead. So we even had events cancelling and in February, but then rescheduling in June. And now you think, how could you ever reschedule for June? But nobody knew what was going on, of course. So at first,
no one was ready, by the way. So
sorry,
no one was ready to face it. So
no. So when we went into the lockdown, we immediately started, scenario planning. What will happen? Will designers still want to go and find a stage? Will visitors still want to come? What could be our scenarios? And we've been in scenario planning ever since, it seems like. And every time when we had finished the scenario, we had to throw it away again because something happened that made it invalid again. So that was quite a hassle for a long time. And now finally, it feels like we're getting a little bit of secure ground underneath our feet for our scenario at this moment. I'll talk to you about that. But yeah, anyway, we've seen a lot of our friends around the world having to close down their events. So also a lot of designers, feeling sad for the fact that Art Basel couldn't go through. London, of course, the biggest one in Milan. And I feel that we also thought about, going digital, fully digital, or postponing. But then we had so many pleas from designers saying, look, we need something to live up to, something to look, some positive perspective on our horizon. We need to meet people, we need to mingle, we need to have new assignments, we need to show our new work. Please, can we do something? That was the reason we really felt we need to hold on and find a strategy to at least do something. And and now gradually it seems like things are loosening up again, so more and more seems possible. So we are, if you're okay, I'll tell a little bit about what we're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's the topic of the talk. Like the question was physical, digital, or both. I already know the answer, but I think everybody's curious to know what's going to happen in the Netherlands. So you can keep going.
So we bet it on both. We said online for sure. So we are going to develop online. So we've been building that scenario almost from the start. And then live, we said it would be a scale of whatever is possible, we'll do. If it's possible to have a studio that can meet with 10 people a day, then it's 10 people a day. If we can make it bigger, then we'll make it bigger. And that's actually kind of the route we've been on. And then we have, all these rules and regulations. So we've been constantly in contact with the mayor, with the government, with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Safety. So we've constantly been in contact of what is possible. So actually, we're going to do both. The one thing that we couldn't do is in the live domain is build big, spectacular halls where a lot of people would meet. We normally have 350,000 visitors, so that's a lot, and we can all imagine that this is just not possible. So we are really focusing on a let's say a pro edition. Normally we have all sorts of different target groups, from the main audience to the real professionals, and now I said, look, this year it's really about the professionals meeting the designers, and the professionals who can give them assignments, the buyers, the museums, the design professionals. And that actually means that it's going to be small scale, but we think smaller scale. But we think
it can be still good quality, like even better. So
maybe even better, because in some aspects it will be better. In some aspects, of course, the big audience, and it's also what Milan is, of course, where the vibe and the whole idea of all these accidental meetings that you have, the serendipity, you see this, you meet. Well, because Eindhoven is such a small city in comparison, we really take over the whole city. We have more visitors than we have inhabitants in the city. So that this really taking over the city, that won't be possible this year. But we really we will focus on relevance, on intimacy, on having the right connections at the right time. And to be honest, if you're in a place where you have normally 10,000 people passing by, how many relevant discussions can you have in one day?
That's true.
So to really target these connections, that's at least our idea. We can make it very relevant.
I was smiling before because I remember the first time I came to visit Dutch Design Week. It was in 2018, and I remember I was really shocked when I arrived in Stripe S, because it was an incredible environment. Like you were smelling creativity everywhere. Like it was something like really. I remember that moment perfect. So the fact that this year that can't happen, of course, it's sad. But at the same time, as you said, I think it's also important for designers to have the time to talk, to network with the right persons. So it's important to have a feedback from maybe the final customer, but it's important to also even more, like in that step, probably to present the project to a journalist, to a professional, and to have more time to explain it even better. So even the fact that probably you will have to register to come to an event, maybe it's useful because you already know who's gonna come. Like, so there are positive aspects from this situation. They're not just negative. So and you're lucky because actually you can have a part of physical events. Like unfortunately we couldn't. So that was a pity. But
no, I completely agree. We've been fortunate. It's also been a very stressful period behind us because constantly we were in this roller coaster, thinking we had a good plan and then going back. And of course, financially, it's also a tough year because some of your business models aren't just there anymore. With ticketing or with sponsoring or partnering, because a lot of companies also kind of are very hesitant to and a lot of the global companies don't do anything international at this moment. So some of the business models just fell apart, I would say. So that was it was on one hand it was quite I would say stressful time or either for a difficult time. On the other hand, we also realize that we're fortunate that we can do something and that we are, at the end. Well, not at the end, where we're long from COVID free around the world. I accept, but at least it seems like things are loosening up around Europe again a little bit, which will make things possible, and that is of course fortunate. And it could have been completely the other way around. So I do feel a lot for all my colleagues with other design weeks, and we're also a community of design week organizers. So we share a lot of information, a lot of good ideas, but also we share the pain. And I know we are fortunate that we can do something, and we realize that it also gives you some sort of responsibility. We have to make it relevant, and we have to. Because we also ask the designers to participate in this physical design week, but we're not sure what will happen, of course. So what we did is we had a couple of really, really good round tables with a lot of the designers that have locations here as well. And really being very transparent and open, like these are all the difficulties that we face. What are we going to do? Are you up for it? Do you dare to take the risk with us? Because we might go into more restrictions again. Things seem like they're loosening up, but we see around the world, in Portugal and Germany, some areas are locked down again as well. So it's a joint risk that we take, but everyone was very open about that, and really felt like a community. We're going to do this together, and that was really.
I think that are the moments when you understand if a community is really a community. Like, so when all the people involved are there with you, supporting the project, whatever happens, that's amazing. And also because I think that the worst part of the situation is that everything is unexpected. Like you can't be 100% sure of what's going to happen. Like we had this problem in Milan, so we first knew the event it was going to be in April. They were not postponing. Then they postponed, and I thought like it was like the best solution. Yep. Then the COVID was still advancing, so they canceled the event. So you have to change and reschedule everything every time. So I know, I understand, even if of course we just make a small part of a big event, but also for us, like we're a small team, a small company, so it's really hard to follow all these changing situations. So I can imagine for you that you're a big organization, and
it's also what you're describing is also, I would say there's almost two kind of flows that we have. One is we have a very adaptive, creative community. So a couple of them I could call, let's say, start of October. Okay, we can do something. Are you in or are you out? And they're ready and they're going for it, and they'll build something amazing. But there's also a stream of, let's say, the bigger exhibitions, the bigger companies, the universities that work together, the academies that build a show. that are much bigger, and they just need a lead time of at least 4 or 5 months to be able to get the money together, to get the locations, all the safety regulations. So we had to manage those two streams as well. So how do we communicate with the bigger parties ready to invest or not sure whether they should? And at the other hand, and I would say, and it's the same as in Milan, it's the mix of those two worlds normally that make it so interesting, make it very complex at this moment as well. So, but what I really found amazing about this community coming together, apart from they saying, look, we want this and we'll take the risk together and we'll do it, is we also said, look, but you have to be very generous this year, because you have locations, but a lot of people who also normally build Dutch Design Week, who come from abroad or from other places in the country, or they need a spot as well. So we need to be very open and inviting and generous to other parties as well to be able to join. There was not a single person saying, I don't want that, I'm going in it for myself. Everyone said, of course, we'll do this.
It's also an opportunity, like, because you're forced to work with someone else, and then in the end it's gonna be just like something good, like it's a good experience for sure. So I think that's the right mood, and I'm really happy to hear what you're saying, because actually that's what I felt when I came to Dutch Design Week, first as visitor, last year as participant with our project with Isola Design District, and I felt this sense of strong community. And that's actually what I really like that's happening in Eindhoven, maybe compared to Milan, because I think Milan Design Week is too much fragmented. I think it's the right word. Because there are too many districts with too many contents, and there is not like a real logic of city. You know, instead there, as you said, the city is smaller, but in 9 days you make the magic happen there. So. That's what I really like from Dutch Design Week. I'm curious to know, like, so you talk about you will have a digital part. We just, I don't know if you had a look at our platform, but we just launched it, and it was really hard to manage the launch of our platform in just two months, to develop and everything. Like, so I'm curious to know what is going to be, how is going to look like your platform, and what challenges you experience in these months.
Well, first of all, a big respect for the fact that you got this platform up in such a short time, and it looks amazing. I really, when you open it up and it's almost like you want to be in that village, and it's really, really great design. So I don't know who designed it, but a big...
Our graphic designers, Sarah, and thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you really want to be there, and you want to discover and want to be a part of it. So I can imagine, I can see it grow and attracting a lot of visitors, and it's in between this game fantasy world and is really neat designed. So I really thought it was amazing. And then going through, I saw some really smart solutions, even to bring in some sponsors. It was outdoor commercials, but then there you can go inside and meet the designers, and there you can see live stuff, and there you go to a shop, and there you go. So I thought it was really, really, really nice. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, big compliment. And and I really mean it. And of course, but I mean, I was really. It gave me a big smile just to go through.
That was the goal. That was the goal, to make people smile again.
Yeah, it really felt like I was discovering again. So. And I know it's really difficult, because we immediately set out on this course to also develop this online, and we already had like a development idea of digitization for the next 3 years, and we kind of try to all compile that in a couple of months, because if we're going to do this, let's do it the right way. So so that really was really interesting to see, because we don't believe, and just like you, that online should be like everything we normally do live, we throw online, and that's it. you have different tools, you have different ways to meet. You will miss the physical, but what can you add? So it's quite a development path, and I say it's also an opportunity, because normally, we are also a organization that has to develop this really, really, really big event in October. And innovations and stuff like that sometimes don't get the chance, because it's really nice to innovate, but we have to deliver this event in October, and now we have to really reinvent it ourselves. So it also gave us an opportunity to really innovate, I would say, and we're in the midst of it. What we're going to do is online. We will have really an online environment, and we'll also have like a hybrid environment where we really try to mingle what's happening live with what's happening online. If you look online, of course, we hope that will be the big general audience, the big event, the big audiences, because we have to size down live.
Yeah.
And like I said, targeted on the professionals. And online, we will try to reach everyone, and we will also try to reach an international audience of participants more and more as well, of course. So it's open for everyone to participate. And what we will do is we will give everyone like a 3D room where you can really build your own environment with content, with objects, with talks, with meetings, so everyone will have their own environment. Like, this is the room of Gabriella, or this is the Isola room. And in that sense, we will still, use our tracks that we have on disciplines. We will still have our. Also, for example, if you're really interested in digital design, you can enter a string of digital design companies, rooms that have developed there. So that's one of the aspects. Another one that's really important to us is meeting and networking. So so we're building tools that you are able to meet the designer in the room, that you are able to maybe through video call or whatever, or through chat or through an appointment in studios. So those sorts of things will develop as well. What we'll also do, of course, is talks and streams and those sorts of things. And that's also where we go into the blended environment, the hybrid space, I would say. So there could be talks that maybe 100 or 200 guests can come to live, but we'll also reach out to the online community. And that could be really interesting. I've seen a lot of examples already. The whole world is changing so fast. So a good example, just because of the mix of live and online and audience within the room, but also audience brought, that you really feel a sense of I am there. So that's really an interesting part. And what we're also, with the 30 or 40 locations that we will have in the city, the bigger locations with the exhibitions, we will also try to invite experts to make like 360 recordings and comments and interviews within those spaces. So that's also a hybrid one. So like you can, if you will be there, for example, with Isola, that people can still visit and see you there and see what's going on, and then maybe also enter your online environment. So those are the sorts of links that we're trying to build.
That's really cool. We did the same with a design gallery and with a design studio that are in the neighborhood. So you could go actually to visit the place, but you could also see the 360 experience, virtual tour in the platform. And I think, everything is an experiment actually, because no one was ready for that. And I can just imagine how hard it is to organize a physical event and develop a platform, a digital platform at the same time. For us, it would be impossible. Like, as I said, we're really small, but I think for most of the organizations, it would be impossible. So just a strong organization can do that, I think. So really good luck with that. I'm really curious to see how it's going to look like.
Yeah. Thanks. It's an exciting path, and I also expect that things will not work out the way we want it, and some things will be much better. But I also expect and this is also a call to the audience watching, also expect an audience that respects the fact, that we're trying our best, and everyone is trying to at least do something and make it happen for the designers and try to make those connections come back to life again, because our community and your community as well of designers is hit really, really hard. And we really feel the responsibility to do something for them. And so I hope the audience also respects the fact that that everyone is trying at the best that they can. So
that's the thing. I think everybody. I mean, smart people can understand that everybody's trying to do their best. Like as I said, our goal was to make people smile again. Like in a sense that from one side we wanted to keep giving the opportunity to designers. We work with a target of young designers, of independent studios. So most of them without big budgets, without the opportunity to showcase their new projects. So that was the one of the aspects. So the other one was to make visitors come and get involved, engaged by the platform, so that they would be more motivated even to visit then the design community and all the projects. So I think what you just said and described, it's incredibly interesting, and I can't wait to be part of it.
Great.
So so the last question, because I know that on the 6th of July you're gonna officialize the theme of this year. Do you want to give us a sneak peek?
It's what we see, of course, we will in a very we will of course refer to what's going on and what does this all mean. And we really need to reevaluate the way we look at the world, the way we reach out to people, the way we are intimate, the way we have relations. So it will really be the way we relate to the planet, the way, so we will go into that. But that always in a sense where all designers can somehow relate to the topic. So it's never a theme that, we restricts, but it's a theme to kind of, I don't know. I hope we will trigger people to reevaluate what's going on and what this means for them. And it will be a lot about, relationships and the way we are intimate with each other and our world and our stuff and our systems. And so that's a sneak peek. And the 6th, we will uncover the whole theme. And it will be a lot about this new relationship we will have to build with everything around us, with everything being shaken. So because we have noticed how vulnerable we are and how vulnerable our planet is and how we need to find new balance in everything. So we also discussed, what will happen at the bigger scale. And I think I don't know if there's going to be a big reset around the world, but I hope we will have a bit of a shift, of course, a bit of a shift of direction where we head. And if we just hold on to this shift, this small shift of reevaluating things, we hope that we'll end up somewhere else than this really destructive path that we were on as a planet, as a whole.
I totally agree, and I find the theme really interesting and challenging. So again, I can't wait to be part of it with our designers. And I wanna thank you again very much for being with us today and to talk with me. And I will see you in Eindhoven very soon. I think I'm gonna come there at the end of August, but then I will be there many times till October. So we can have a beer. We can have a beer in Eindhoven together.
Maybe more than one, Gabriel. I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in for that. No problem. Whenever you want. Okay. So let's keep in touch. Thank you very much again for being with us, and good luck with the organization of the event.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
And you, good luck as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.